name is Jeremy Blunt. I am founder and CEO of a company entitled Stitches for Life. I am an author of a book entitled Stitches because some wounds need more than a Band-Aid cure. I encourage you to go out, purchase my book. You can get it from my website. Subscribe. Get on my emailing list. My website is stitches4life.org. Go to my website, subscribe to it. Previous videos, all of those are posted. A lot of those are posted to my website. And I got a lot of different things going on. Working on a conference, going to bring a conference and a workshop here. I'll be talking more about that. So tune in and be listening to it. I'm going to work on that for the latter part of the fall. But tonight I really want to jump into something real quick, and I just want to share for a few minutes to the men, because there's a lot of men that are out there that are looking for some answers. And because, let me just be straight up. If you're looking for an excuse, you'll always find one. But the truth, sometimes you got to seek. And you have to put forth an effort. It's a choice to be successful. It's a choice to do things the right way. It's not just you're not just going to stumble onto it. It's not just going to fall into place and just happen because either you just happen to be in the right place or all of that. That's not how success works. To be truthful and to be completely honest, I believe success happens when hard work meets opportunity. I'm going to say that again. When hard work meets opportunity. And that means you got to do your part, and then the opportunity will come. See, even if the opportunity comes before hard work comes, you may meet a little success, but long-term success, you're going to have problems getting and maintaining, because you have to have that effort that you put in. You got to have that part of it that you do, that you exert and you sacrifice for, in order for those things to become a reality and to stay a reality. And men, this applies across the board. It applies across the board, whether or not this is on your job, whether or not it's your education, whether or not it's you in a relationship with somebody. These things apply across the board. You got to put forth the effort. So tonight, real quick, I just want to talk about men. We got to get ourselves together first. And the reason why I say first is because, I'm reminded of Adam and Eve, first man. And the first thing that man was given was his purpose from God. He was told, hey, you need to go out, and he gave him a clear purpose and job. And he went out there and he was doing his job. Before a woman was ever created, before she ever came along, before all of that took place, he was given a responsibility and he was out doing work. A lot of us today have this thing backwards. We're out there trying to get a woman first and then get ourselves together. Or use that woman to help us. No, see, that's backwards. You need to work on you. So men, I want to encourage you to take a moment. If you out here and you single and you just trying to find you somebody, what do you bring to the table? Ask yourself that question. What are you offering somebody else that comes along? Because they come along, and if you don't have anything to give to them, you don't have anything to produce to keep them. See, a woman is there to help. She is there to assist. In order to help somebody or to assist them, you got to already be doing something for them to attach themselves to. See, they are there to help, so that's like attaching themselves to it. Well, you got to have something to be attached to. Meaning you got to be about some business. You got to be about your work in order for all of these different things to come together. We can find excuses, and I can name them all day, of why men think the way that they think and all of that. But here comes some truth. It's about exposure. Okay? This is about exposure. When you are exposed, then you can move up. So men, this is exposure. The reason why I'm doing these scopes, the reason why I'm bringing this to you, the way I'm bringing it to you, is because once you are exposed to something, now you're responsible. You can't ignore it once you know. You should not ignore it once you know. You can ignore it. Let me rephrase that. You can ignore it. However, ignoring it doesn't make it any less your responsibility. Once you have the responsibility, now you got to move forward with it. You got to take it on and you got to drive forward. So men, here's the goal. Here is your challenge. Here is your task. You need to remove the excuses. I didn't do this because, I didn't have a father figure in my life, or I didn't do this because I don't get along with my children's mother, and all of these different excuses that are out there. If you're looking for an excuse, you'll find one. But if you're not looking for an excuse, then you won't accept any. I'm sorry, tonight is one of them get real nights. If you thought you were just going to walk in here and this was going to be one of them mediocre, he's just telling me how things that I can do to improve. Nah, I'm sorry. Tonight, I'm cutting. And I know I'm going to cut deep. I got to tell it the way it is. Because in order for you to grow, sometimes you got to be cut. There are some injuries and wounds that got to get cut. In order to get to them, we got to cut to get to them. That means we got to peel away some of the layers that's on top. And we got to go straight down to the bottom to where it needs to be. In order to get to that place where you can be to improve, to get to the next level, you got to recognize, I got to be cut here. And sometimes God allows things to happen in order to cut you. In order to get to what needs to be fixed. Because sometimes we just on the surface. And when we on the surface, we just feeling like, I might dust the dirt off the top, but I'm not getting what's underneath. I'm not addressing what really needs to address. See, everybody doesn't, folks naturally don't nobody just want to be like, hey, sign me up for surgery. But you know what? Sometimes surgery is necessary. So I need you to understand, men, this is a direct message for men. I'm giving it because I got it. I had to go through this. And I'm still going through it. But there are some things that I've experienced in my life that it had to cut me. It had to cut me deep. And it had to cut me real so that I can understand, I have to go through this to get to the next level. Some of you are sitting back saying, I'm just going to do what I've always done so that I can get, and eventually things will work out. No, that's not how this works, folks. You got to do some stuff differently. Men, it's our responsibility to do a gut check on us. Stop looking for women to do it for us. Stop looking around for it to happen. Because as men, we don't talk to other people. And since we don't talk to other people, we're not looking for other people to tell us. That means we got to look inside of ourselves. Men, we carry a lot of baggage. I'm sorry. I got to put it out there. I got to say it. I was one of those people. That we carry a lot of baggage. We think that when we deal with a woman, that they carry a lot of baggage. But here comes some truth. The truth is we do. We carry a lot from our experiences and things that we faced in our life that we agreed with or didn't agree with. And we get the big head. And we get what even worse than the big head, we get the stubborn head. And the stubborn head is we want things the way that we want it, period. And we're not open to anything else and not willing to look in any other direction. Folks, men, we got to get ourselves together because that's the wrong way of thinking. We want to go and get a woman to help us get it together. When the truth is, the first man was designed already functioning and flowing in his purpose. And while he was out there functioning and flowing, where are you going? What are you doing? Are you working to get yourself to that place? Do you know what you're doing? What education are you working on? What? And for those that holler about, well, school is just not what I like to do. Okay, there's more than that. There's more than that. You know, if nothing else, I met a guy in the park yesterday. And I was out there taking some pictures, and he came up to me and asked me, he worked for the park and everything. Shout out to Rob. And he was talking about the pictures. He has a little camera and he does a little photography and everything. And he was like, well, you know, I just play around with it a little bit. And you know, I just figure I'll get it together. And I asked him, I said, so what are you doing to increase or improve this skill? Oh, well, you know, I just get out here and I play around. But in a year, I plan on actually, you know, doing this and you know, going into it full time. But right now, I'm just playing around. I say, you know what? There's a whole lot of people that spend their whole lives playing around, talking about what they're going to do and how they're going to get it together. That's the wrong answer. I say, now, you know, if you don't want to go to a school where you got to sit down and learn, with all the technology, it's the 21st century, folks. You can go online, you can go on YouTube, you can Google it. You can find information to learn about the field that you're trying to go into and the things that you're trying to do every day. Take a few moments to educate yourself. Personal development. That's what I'm talking about. Men, you got to get yourself together. We got to get ourselves together. The world is waiting on men to step up. Not to step up and just be flashy, but men about our business. We want to turn our neighborhoods around. Men, we got to be about our business. Younger men are looking for older men who are doing it, who are getting it together, who are doing it by example. Not just talking about them going to school and needing to better themselves, but they see us doing it. This is a challenge to men everywhere. You seeing this, you listening to it, you didn't read this on the replay, share this with somebody. Share this with a man that you know that needs to get themselves together. Stop faking the funk. Stop sitting back saying, I'm just going to see what everybody else is doing and go the way that everybody else is going. And I'm just going to be cool with that. Well, this is just the way the chip's made. Let me tell you something. That's not how success works. Success does not work that way. You have to choose to be successful. It's easy to be a failure. In fact, you can fail or be mediocre by not doing nothing at all. By falling in line with everybody else. Just doing what everybody else is doing. But it takes self-discipline. Men, it takes self-discipline. What is your discipline level? That is my challenge for you tonight. What's your discipline level? What are you doing? Where are you right now in your discipline level? Are you working to improve yourself? Are you working to do things to help somebody else? Is it all about you? Are you treating the people that God has blessed in your life with respect? Are you treating them better than the way that you would want to be treated? It starts with you. What kind of example are you? Example to your kids if you have some? What kind of example are you to your partners or your spouses, or if they're out there? What kind of example are you being? If you're not being the example that you know you ought to be, or that you should be, the choice is yours. How long will you continue to not be the example? When are you going to make the decision to step up and move into the position? Gentlemen, it starts with us. We have to get ourselves together. This is Men's Monday. Men, it's on us. It's on us to get ourselves together. Success falls on our shoulders. It's on us to make a decision. It doesn't matter what your past has been like. It doesn't matter how many times you screwed up. It doesn't matter what you've done that you shouldn't have done. What matters is, what are you doing now? It starts with the first step, the first decision. Are you going to somebody's church? Are you listening to somebody's word? Are you getting something positive in your system to encourage you? If your barometer, see, we all have this barometer that we have. A barometer is like a gauge. All of us has it. All of us have it. What barometer are you using to gauge how your life is going to go? How you live your life? See, you need a spiritual barometer to help you fix some of that thinking. If your thinking is messed up and you know that there's something wrong with your thinking, stop thinking it's going to fix itself, because it won't. You got to make some adjustments and some changes. I was telling someone today, I was in the military. And one of the things we do in the military very often is that we go to a shooting range. And on a shooting range, we have to do this thing. We have to qualify every year. When we go to qualify, we go and we shoot. And immediately when we shoot with our weapon, we do what's called zeroing first. Zeroing is basically our way of getting focused. We have to shoot so many shots to make sure our shots are together. We aim at the exact same spot, and every time we shoot, our circle has to be close. And after we shoot so many, we'll walk down with a grader, and they'll look at our shots. And after they look at those shots, they'll say, you need to make this adjustment or that adjustment. Folks, what adjustments do you need to make in your life? What changes do you need to make in your life? You see, after we are told about those adjustments, first off, we got to be open to criticism. Some of us don't like criticism. Now, tonight I'm talking to the men, but understand this is for men and women. Some of these principles still apply. We got to be able to take criticism. We got to be able to take when somebody tells us we're wrong. We got to be able to take when we're not doing it the way that it needs to be done. We got to be able to take that. If we ever want to get better, we ever want to get in a better situation, we got to be able to take criticism. Now, when they tell us those adjustments that need to be made, that's our criticism. We have a choice right then. We got a choice, because after we do that, we go back to our weapon and we go to fire again. See, when we go to fire again, we can either make those choices, make those changes, or we cannot make those changes. That grader doesn't make the change for us. We make the changes. We have to accept them or we have to let them go. Folks, how many times has God placed things in your life, people in your life, situations in your life, where you had the opportunity to make a change and you chose to not make a change? And it's been like a circle. You come around to the same being over and over and over again because you have chosen to not make a difference, to not make that change. See, you can go back to that weapon. We can go back to that weapon and we can choose to not make a change and we can fire all over again. But there's one thing about it. If we chose to not fire, not to make those changes, and we shot again, we go back down with that grader again. Criticism is going to come around. Criticism sometimes come in the form of haters, people. Some of the reasons why, see, we have a misconception sometimes about haters. Sometimes we think haters are just there to tear us down. Haters also serve the purpose of letting us know where we need to work on, what we need to pay attention to, what we need to focus on, where we can improve. Haters have their place too. Turn your haters into motivation, because you might just need to take a moment and listen to them. I know tonight isn't one of those nights where I'm going to get a whole bunch of thumbs up and a whole bunch of hearts, but tonight is one of those nights where I just needed to be real, because this is about getting yourself together. Stop being the way that you were and to be the way that you were designed to be. But in order to get there, you got to work on you. You got to make some adjustments about you. So we got those folks that have told us what we need to adjust. If we go back and we choose to not, and then we fire again, we go right back down to check to see about those changes. And that grader is going to let us know whether or not they know immediately if we made changes or if we didn't. They'll turn to us and tell you, oh, you chose to not make those changes, huh? Well, guess what? You better go back and shoot again. How many times do you have to go through the same lesson over and over and over again before you finally get the point that you need to make some adjustments? If you are around folks and all your homeboys getting shot and killed, you're around folks and everybody want to fight around you, how long will you stay in that same type of environment before you figure out you got to make some changes? Obviously, it's something that you got to do that's different. If everybody around you talk a certain way, act a certain way, and you know that's not how you designed to act and how you designed to talk, fix it. How many times are you going to sit there and watch the folks that you have influence over, you have the ability to talk to share something with, go in the wrong direction and you choose to not say nothing? Men, we got to get ourselves together. We see the ignorance that's going on. We see I'm going to just say it, the stupidity that's going on. We see young men going down the wrong path every single day. And we figure whatever we figure, but we don't talk to them. We don't say nothing. We have developed this habit to walk by and say, it ain't our business. Well, what used to not be our business because it was something on TV happening on the other side of the world. Now it's in your neighborhood. Now it's in your house. Now it's knocking on your door. Now it's in the room with you. When are you going to make the decision, men, to not just be a bystander in your own life anymore, but to step up and be that person that you are designed to be that person that God created you to be? If you change your world, that's how we change the world. We change the world of the people that we have contact with, the people we have the ability to influence, the people we have the ability to touch. Those are the adjustments we need to make in our life. Once we make those adjustments, we'll be able to reach those people. It starts with us. Focus on ourselves. Focus on the things that we need to improve. What are you reading? How are you educating yourself? How are you taking yourself to the next level? How are you working on how you talk to people? Think about the things that you said to other folks. Think about how they reacted to them. If yesterday you went off and the reaction was not one that brought positiveness, well, tonight, think about it. Because tomorrow, you may need to react differently. You may need to change your approach. It's not what you say a lot of times, it's how you say it. How you come across to people determines whether or not they grow from the conversation or whether or not they decline from the conversation. And I'm going to say this in closing. Men, everybody that you come in contact with, everybody that you deal with, they leave with an experience after being in touch with you. If you've been here since the beginning of this broadcast, tonight, till now, this has been an experience for you. One way or another, it has been an experience. You can either grow from this experience or you cannot grow. I have a job of just letting you know, of telling it, putting it out there, exactly the way that it is and the way that it needs to be. I got to do my part, but I can't do it alone. This challenge is not just for you, it's for me, but you got to do your part. What difference are you going to make to who tomorrow, tonight? Who can you call tonight to say, hey, can I partner with you? Men, we need to be accountable. Every man needs another man that they can be accountable to. Every man needs that they can go to, they can talk to about their issues, about their problems, because men, we are not on this island all by ourselves. We don't have all the answers. Stop running around trying to make it seem like you got all the answers. Stop trying to push in front of the female that's in your life, your spouse, or whatever it is, that you have all the answers and that you don't need nobody. Because here comes some truth, men. Men, you got to have it together in order to help others. You got to have it together to be for other people. And the only way that you can have it together to be for other people is if you learn. You learn about yourself and you learn from others. Don't make the mistakes others made simply because you won't open your mouth and talk to them. Because you won't take the time to open up to them. And you won't learn from seeing the mistakes that they made. There is no reason why if you see somebody else go and shoot somebody and they end up throwing their life away, you should go down the same path. There should be no excuse. Because if it is, if you're choosing to do it, it's because it's out of choice. Don't make a choice out of ignorance. Men, there's enough of young men that are out there that are making some bad choices. And this isn't about color. This isn't about race. This is about men in general. Because I've seen them from every ethnicity that are making some bad choices. And the older ones, we learn. I've learned from those older than me, and I'm still learning. We have a responsibility to pass the message on. What you see in our society today is a result of the messages not being passed on. The lessons not being given to the next generation. How you give it, whatever means you got to give it in a way that they get it, it has to be done. But men, the only way is that if we get ourselves together. Tonight, my challenge is this. Every man that tune in tonight, every woman that tune in tonight, repost this, rebroadcast it, go back, look at it, listen to it at the beginning, go back to it all over again. Do whatever you need to do. Share it with at least 5. With at least 5. Say, men, we got to get ourselves together. Starting next Monday, and every Monday, I'm going to talk about a characteristic that as men, we need to work on. Because here's the truth. As much as I would like to sit here and talk about us as men and how we need to learn how to relate to women and how we need to do stuff, that will come. That has its place. But as men, our first responsibility is learning about ourselves. Because we can never be to a woman the king that she needs us to be if we have never learned how to be a king. And if you've never been around a king, guess what? Look around. Because there are some kings still walking around. You pick up the traits. You learn to watch for the traits of a king. And you take from them the traits that you need to take. And you start using them in your life. That's called royalty. That's called being an heir. Men, you are a king by birthright. So it's time to start acting like it. Again, my name is Jeremy Blunt, founder and CEO of Stitches for Life. I am an author, empowerment speaker. Someone asked a question earlier about a conference I am putting together. Right now, I'm working for late September. I will have the dates and more information probably within the next month. But folks, it's time for us to get ourselves together. What challenge? How are you working on getting yourself together? Thank you for your attention and your time tonight. I'm going to take 30 seconds. Any questions that anyone has, I'm going to go ahead and take them. If you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast, Periscope, give me some hearts. Facebook, give me some thumbs up, some love if you've gotten anything out of tonight. Tonight was not a long broadcast. I had this on my mind. I just needed to put it out there. The importance is men, that we have some responsibility. And it's time for us to step up. And we got to stop looking at other folks to step up. We got to do it. We got to stop waiting. Thank you for the love. We got to stop waiting on somebody else to take the lead, because there's a leader inside every last one of us. So what are you doing to lead those who are looking up to you? You're leading them one way or another. You're either leading them in the right direction or you're leading them in the wrong. What are you doing? That's the question tonight. Last 30 seconds, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them for you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I did a couple shout outs at the beginning, but I noticed there's a whole lot of other people that have joined on. Thank you so much for joining me for these few minutes tonight. I will be back tomorrow night talking about purpose. It's Purpose Tuesday, folks. I want to encourage men and women. If you got children, teenagers, by all means, have them tune in, because this is not geared just toward women. It's not geared just toward men. On Monday, I'm gearing it toward men. On Wednesday, I'm gearing it toward women. On Tuesday, I'm talking about folks as a whole, things that you need to work on, things that you need to focus on. And I'm focusing on Thursday. Thursday is Relation Thursday. How we deal and how we interact with other people. Folks, that's what this is all about. Amen. Thank you. Father of seven. Hey, you have a grave responsibility, Dominique. You have an awesome responsibility. The first example that you are for your kids, you're the example. The first man that any daughter will ever see will be her father. How the type of man that she marries or accepts in her life is going to be gauged on how she sees you as a father. So you got a grave responsibility, not just how you talk to her, but how they see you interact with other people, how they see you interact with their mother, regardless if you're together or you're not together. You have an awesome responsibility, because you are the example to them. You are the sign of what they are looking for. You set the tone in their mind about how things are going to go and the way their mind is going to work when they're dealing with other people. You set the tone. So ask yourself, what tone are you setting? Anybody else? Any questions? Thank you for sharing that, Dominique. Good luck to you. If there's anything I can do for you, and that's anybody, inbox me, email me. If you're following me on Periscope, if you're not following me on Periscope, you can also follow me there. I do have a fan page. I do all the rebroadcasts onto my fan page. I encourage you to go to my fan page and like it, so it'll let you know whenever I'm about to go live. It'll also do it on my website. If you go to my profile, if you're following me on Periscope, you can actually find me on my, it is a link to my website on my profile page. All right. What about the step parents? Yes. Step parents, you have a grave responsibility. You have a grave responsibility. I'm doing some work right now, some research right now about step parenting. I was challenged. I was challenged to do some research about step parenting, because there's a grave responsibility that goes into it that a lot of folks just don't understand. But let me share just this little bit to help you out, Lord. Let me share this. If you're a stepfather, whichever father or mother that's coming into the picture, understand this as a step parent. Your job is you're stepping into the role. You're stepping into a role that was already previously filled. Now, by stepping into a role, it doesn't mean you're taking over the role. You're stepping into the gaps that were left open. So when you step into the gaps that are left open, you have to get in where you fit in. And let me be clear with this. When I say you have to get in where you fit in and you build from there, it doesn't mean you're going to be stuck where you get in. You will gradually increase, but you have to fill in where the gaps are first. And you grow into that position. You grow into the position as in the place that that other person sees you. They see you, those children see you as. See, they're still learning about you. So as they're learning about you, that they will grow. You will grow on them and they will grow on you. Don't go in there thinking, you know what? I'm the father. Everything is going to go like this. It happens like that a lot. But here's the thing about being around somebody. If you're around somebody long enough, one or two things are going to happen. You're going to rub off on them, or they're going to rub off on you. As a step parent, your first responsibility is you must always communicate with that other parent. That your spouse. You got to make sure that the regular parent, y'all have to talk about everything. You feel in a certain kind of way, you got to keep them lines of communication open. Because you never want to open up the door for the children to come in between you and them. The way that you do that is you keep the communication open. You're constantly talking about stuff. You don't have to play dad or mom. All you have to do is be. I couldn't have said it better, Chris. You don't have to play the role. All you got to do is be. But communicate. You be you. You love the way you would love as if it was yours. Because folks, let me tell you something. And listen to me very clearly. I can speak from experience of explaining this and living through this. When you become a step parent, it's step parent to everybody else. But to you, it should never be other than parent. To the kids, it should never be nothing other than parent. Those kids should never feel that they are anything other than your children. When you introduce them, when you're out somewhere, or when they introduce you, guess what? If you stepped into the role, you get the respect that comes along with the role of being parent. I'm going to be straight. You get the respect of it. You're doing everything else that goes along with it. So guess what? Even when you introduce them to other people, they're not your spouse's kids. I want to introduce you to my kids. I want to introduce you to my new kids. However you want to say it, but understand, you can never do it in a way that'll make those kids feel anything less than a child that was born by you, that came from you. Because the moment you do, you've changed the dynamic of how your relationship will be. Understand that is the most important thing when it comes to being a step anything. Step mother, step kid. You got to understand that. You treat them with that utter respect. It's not a competition. You're not trying to take the place of their parent. You're not trying to. But you're trying to fill in the gaps. Because guess what? Here's the truth. If the father isn't vacant, that means there's that much more of a gap that needs to be filled. But if there is a smaller gap that needs to be filled, you know what? I'm filling in the smaller gap. That's fine. I have two children. I'm going to be transparent here. I have two kids with my ex-wife. And my ex-wife has remarried. My kids call him dad. I don't have a problem with that. Here's my reason why. Because he stepped into the role. He's never treated them any way less than his own kids. He's treated them the same. To me, he's earned the respect. He's earned that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not intimidated because I'm their father. I'm their dad. They know that because I do what I'm supposed to do as their dad, because that's my job. but I don't step on his foot. I don't step on his toes. We work together. We communicate. I found a way to build and to make a relationship. It was essential because he stepped into a role that here was the gap. The gap was there because me and their mother decided that we needed to separate. It was a decision that me and their mother made. It wasn't their fault. He chose to fill in a gap. Anybody that steps into a role has my respect for stepping into that role. And they should get the respect of anybody. So he has my respect for nothing else, if for nothing else, for the fact that he stepped into that role. And he handles himself as he should. Now, if he doesn't, then that's another story. But he does. And I've always encouraged that any way that I could. I never talk bad about him. I never talk down about him. Because you know what, folks? That's petty. Don't do that. Because your kids are looking up to you. Men, this is what I was talking about when I said we got to get ourselves together. We got to work on us. Because we can't get caught up on the small stuff that we so caught up at the fact that us and the kid's mother don't get along that we're not trying to do nothing else and trying to create as much havoc as we possibly can. That's not the right answer. Our job is to take care of our kids. Our job is to make sure we give them the best raising that they can get. I explained it to my kids like this. Now you got two sets of parents. That's how I explained it to them. You got two sets. That means you are more blessed. That means you can do more. It's all about how you present it to them. And then it's all about how you carry yourself. So, Lord, I pray that that has helped you. Whatever you do it as unto the Lord. In spiritual as well as carnal things. That's right. You're not doing it unto other people. Stop trying to please other people. Please him. Please him. I opened up with this and I'm going to close with this. Adam was the first man. He was. He got his job. He got his purpose from God. He was told what he's supposed to do. How he was supposed to carry himself. Very specific instructions. Go back and read it in Genesis. He got those very specific instructions. And then he went to carrying it out. Everything else came secondary. Everything else did. Focus on what you need to focus on. If you got kids already, focus on them. You got responsibilities already, focus on them. Stop dodging them. Stop ducking and dodging them. I know what next Monday is going to talk about. I'm going to go in and nip something in the bud next Monday because I need to address the whole child support thing and being there for your kids even if you and the mother don't get along. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and address that. As a man, men, we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about those things. So I'm going to nip that one in the bud. By the way, it's biblical. So I'm going to show it to you in your Bible. It's biblical. And there really isn't an excuse as to why. You have a responsibility. Take care of your responsibility. Men, that's part of getting ourselves together. We got to focus on us. Thank you all for your time tonight. This is my time. My name is Jeremy Blunt, speaker, author, teacher. If you need my help, inbox me. I am a relationship therapist. This is what I do, folks. But I don't just do relationships. My purpose, the purpose of my business, is to help people use the things that they've experienced in their life to propel them toward their purpose. To help them figure out that all those things make sense. And simply to help people see things from a perspective that they may not have seen them before. But because they can see them now, it'll help them get to where they're supposed to go. Thank you for your time tonight. I enjoyed all of you that came, enjoyed all the comments that came. I invite you to come back tomorrow. We'll be here. It'll be 10:15 tomorrow night. It's Purpose Tuesday. We're going to get in that thing and we're going to talk about purpose. Thank you, and you all have a good night.